Welcome children, take up the geography book. Chapter 1, Representation of Geographical Features through Contours. Today's topic is Interpreting Contours on Topo sheets. Topographical maps represent relief and man-made features to depict colorful earth. Now, what does topographical map represent? It represents the relief and man-made features to depict our colorful earth. The ups and downs of relief are expressed through brown lines called contour lines, and contour lines are depicted in brown colors. Colors have many importance in depicting the topo sheets. Contour lines are imaginary lines drawn on a map joining places having the same height above the mean sea level. Now, contour lines. What are these contour lines? Contour lines are imaginary lines. Though they are drawn on a map and join places which have the same height above the mean sea level. On a map of RF, RF means representative fractions. 1 raised to 50,000. The vertical distance between two successive contours is 20 meter. Now, vertical distance between two successive contours, it is 20 meter. Thus, we say that contour interval is 20 meter, and so what we say that contour interval, it is 20 meter. It is an interval at which contour lines are drawn. Now what is it? It is an interval, and through it contour lines are drawn. At every 100-meter interval, a thick brown line called index contour is drawn for calculating. At every 100-meter interval, what happens? A thick brown contour line. It is called the contour interval. It is drawn for calculating the height. Survey instruments help to find out the heights above the ground. Now, how does the survey instrument help? It helps us to find out the heights above the ground. These heights are marked as spot heights on the map, and in maps they are marked as spot heights. The spot heights shows heights in meters above the mean sea level. Now, the spot height, what they show? They show the heights in meter above the mean sea level. When the heights of several points are known accurately on the map, it is possible to interpolate lines joining equal heights above the mean sea level. Now, it is very possible to interpolate the lines which joins the equal heights above the mean sea level. For example, all places having 300 meter spot heights are joined by an imaginary line. Now, for example, take an example, that is, if all places which have the 300 meter spot height, how they are joined? They are joined by an imaginary line on the map, and these are called the contour line. Similarly, 400 meter and 500 meter contour line are drawn closer to 400 meter and 500 meter spot height. In the same way, 400 meter and even 500 meter contour line, how they are drawn? They are drawn very closer to 400 meter and 500 meter spot height and far away from the heights which are lesser or more than them. Try to interpolate contours on a map by randomly selecting available spot height. Now, try to interpolate these contours on the map which randomly select the available spot height. Now, identifying landforms through contours. Now, how can we identify the landforms through contours? Contours usually do not intersect, they meet together to represent it. Now, contour, they usually do not intersect each other, they meet together and represent a cliff. When contours are widely spaced, they depict gender. When contours, they are widely spaced, what they show? They show that they are gentle slope. Closely spaced contour depicts steepness, and closely spaced contour, what they depict? They depict the steep slope. Drawing across the section are easier way of drawing relief from a contour map. Now, drawing a cross section, this is the easiest way to draw the relief on a contour map. Draw a line AB across the contour line and draw another line below the length AB. Now, first draw one line AB across the contour line and then again draw below the same height AB. Take a strip of paper and mark the 2 points AB on the paper as it lies there. Now, take one strip of paper and then mark the 2 points AB on the paper which lies on the AB. Now, mark all the contours as it intersect the strip of paper. Now, mark all the contour lines where it meets the strip of paper. Also, write down the heights of the contour along the mark. Even write down the heights of the contours. Draw the heights on the y-axis taking a scale. Now draw the heights on the y-axis, which takes a scale, that is 1 centimeter for 100 meter. Transfer all the markings from the paper to the x-axis of the graph. Now transfer all the markings from the paper to the x-axis of the graph. Now mark the heights on the graph surrounding. Now you mark the heights on the graph accordingly. Once all the points have been plotted, with a brown pencil to draw the relief. With a brown pencil through which we can draw the relief. Different kinds of relief features may be drawn the same way. Now different kinds of relief features, they can be drawn in the same way. Now let us try to identify some of the relief. Conical hill. What is a conical hill? A conical hill is represented by equal spacing, contours and heights increasing towards the central circular contour. Now conical height, how it is represented? It is represented by equal spacing, contour and heights which increases toward the central circular contour. Contour heights appear in concentric circle. Now how does the contours appear? They just look like concentric circle. The slopes are equal in all directions. All the contour slopes, they are equal in all directions. The central or innermost contour has the highest value showing the summit of the hill. Now central or the innermost contour, what they have? They have the highest value which shows the summit of the hill. Now plateau. What is a plateau? Plateau is a flat topped and steep edged highland. What is plateau? It is a flat top having a steep edged highland. The innermost contour is very wide to represent the flat table-like top. Now innermost contour, what is it? It's very wide and it represents the flat table-like top. The edges have closely spaced contours that depict the step. Now edges, what they have? They have closely spaced contours and they depict the steep slope. Rigid saddle, call, gap and passes. Now ridge. What's the ridge? A ridge is a long, narrow, sharp-edged upland with several. Ridge is what? It is a long, narrow, sharp-edged upland. It consists of many peaks. It is like a range of hills. It just looks like a range of hills. That is chain of hills. The slopes may be steep or gentle. Now slopes, it may be either steep or it may be gentle also. Saddle is a slow depression between two hills. It is a broader gap compared to a col. Now saddle, what is saddle? It's a shallow depression found between the two hills and it is a broader gap compared to col. Gap. What is a gap? A gap is a low depression close to the ground. Gap is what? Very low depression and remains close to the ground. Pass. Pass is also a gap between two hills, but it can be at a higher elevation. It is used for transport and trade. Now pass. It is even a gap between the two hills, but it can be at higher elevation and gaps are specially used for transport and trade. Settlement pattern. Settlement pattern usually grow near a river in a plain where land is arable and easy to develop a wide network of transport system. Now settlement. Usually where it develops near a river in a plain and here the land is arable and they are easy to develop the wide network of transport system. Settlement may be permanent or temporary. Settlement. There are two types of settlement. One is permanent settlement and the other is temporary settlement. Sometimes peasants during harvest period or foresters during logging period may set up temporary settlement. Now sometimes what happens? Peasants during the harvest period or the foresters during the logging period, they set up the temporary settlement. Most villages, towns and cities have permanent settlement. Now most villages, towns and cities, what they have? They have permanent settlement. There may be different patterns of settlement such as linear settlement, dispersed settlement and nucleative. There are different types of patterns of settlement, that is linear settlement, dispersed settlement and nucleative settlement. So linear settlement. These patterns are noticed along a railway line, metal road or river. Now linear settlement, where they are noticed? They are noticed along a railway line, then metal road or river. They grow due to advantage of transport. Why they grow? Due to the advantage of transport and trade. Now, nucleative settlement. Now, nucleative settlement, what is? This pattern is also called the clustered and often found in areas having too many opportunities. Nucleative settlement, where it is found? It is found in the clustered and often in areas where too many opportunities are found. These are usually major villages, towns and cities in place, or they may be found in different terrains where favorable conditions are agglomerated at certain points. There are actually major villages, towns and cities in place, or where they are found? They are found in different terrains where favorable good conditions of agglomerated at a certain point. As such pattern, we find post offices, hospital, police station, temple, mosque, reservoir, cemetery, metal roads, railway station, and so on. Now, in such a pattern, what can we find? We find all the post offices, hospitals, police station, temple, mosques, reservoir, cemetery, metal roads, railway station, etc. These kinds of settlement usually portray economic prosperity at various occupation as possible and several facilities are. Now, this kind of settlement, what they show? They shows that the place has economic prosperity as various occupations are, many occupations are possible here and several facilities are also available here. Now, dispersed settlement. Now, what are the dispersed? These patterns are found in large farm area where there are few people living. Now, dispersed settlement, where it is found? It is found in the large farm area where only few people live. They are also seen in remote farm far from the favorable water sources of water. Even they are found in remote area far from favorable water sources of the fertile land. Both permanent or temporary huts can be seen here. Here, permanent and temporary huts can also be seen here. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Before ending, let me tell you, revise the lesson again. And with this, I am ending my today's class. Goodbye.